Happy New Year until next weekers.
Happy New Year, and this is season 2.
Yes, season 2, episode 1, but it's really episode 53. We've done it.
Wow.
We finally reached our goal, so this is the end of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. We're finally going to get to those controversial topics we promised.
No, we're ending the podcast right here. That's what we're doing. Yeah, it's done.
This is the end, even though it's the beginning of the year.
Oh, that is poetic in a way.
Does that make sense?
Is it the beginning of the end?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Shawty had them apple bottom jeans.
That makes no sense. Yeah, so it's a new year. It's episode 53. We got some good topics for you.
Mountain Dew is here.
Yeah, it is here.
Oh, man.
And you already opened it because last time you opened the Mountain Dew, it was very disappointing because you had a plastic bottle. So with your New Year's resolutions, I think you should get cans again to really inspire the audience.
I want to, but cans are not the things that people have bought me.
Okay.
Somebody bought me this.
Okay. Well, we'll get into this a little bit later, and this is episode 53 of the Until Next Week podcast.
It's happening.
Dane has a big update. I don't know what it is.
Dang
He just has a note on here, and he didn't know he was going first, but he was like, hey, I have a big update. I'm like, okay, Dane, go. I'm excited.
Yeah,
it better be good.
We did intro music, and then we did that thingamabobbers and whatnot, and then you kept you were hinting at it in our pre-meeting here.
Yes.
That you were like, hey, would your work want you to know that you were looking for a new job? And I was like, well, probably not. But I was like, there ain't no way that people are like my upper-ups, my bosses and stuff are listening to me. I was like, my team already knows I'm looking for a new job.
What team? Wildcats.
Wildcat. That's it. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want you to go a different route.
No, I know I'm supposed to say something here.
Yeah, it's like,
dang it.
Cougars.
Shout out to Zac Efron.
Yeah.
But no, my team that I work with normally, they are also all looking for new jobs.
Oh, wow. So you're calling all of them out also. This is great.
Unless
all y'all are getting fired now.
Well, yeah. Unless you're my boss and you're listening to this, then just kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm putting this out there, so
no, I haven't even told them about the podcast for this specific reason.
Yeah, don't tell them. Don't spread it around your friends.
Yeah,
or spread it around your friends, just not your coworkers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I tell my team, my coworkers, people who can't fire me, but I don't tell people who can fire me.
Yeah,
that's basically how it goes.
Yeah.
But in relation to the update, that is for that, I did get a new job.
Oh, okay. That explains why you're like in the notes, hey, get a new job, and you have a new job.
Well, I already checked that one off.
That's going to make your New Year's resolution a little less exciting later.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But no, I got the job to work for my church.
That's really good that you're able to like blackmail them, be like, hey, if you don't hire me, I'm going to cancel you.
I'm going to cancel you.
Because, I have cancer. Allegedly. You haven't got rescanned yet, so we're going to say you don't have it now.
That's true.
You don't have cancer. Congratulations.
That would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm. That is wonderful.
It is.
Because that is what is the case.
It could be wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, so it's working for my church. It's middle school, high school ministry, a residency. I do have to raise my salary. So
that's awesome.
That's literally, so I don't start until like July.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm support raising, sitting down with people being like, hey, like part of worship is giving people and sending people and letting people who can use this as our full-time ministry, like kind of do this and not have really any cost or things to like the church. And so if you are listening and you would like to support me,
this is why you didn't write it down here. Okay.
No, frankly, just pray for me.
Yeah.
And just that I would steward my time well and my resources well and have conversations with these kids that would be just leading them towards Jesus. That would be really cool. And so honestly, I'm excited to work with all my friends because everybody on staff is already my friend anyways.
Yeah.
And then B, I'm really excited to wear.
Wait, what about Julie?
Oh, well, Julie. Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, Julie, she was in the haters list.
Yeah, she's like, don't let him get hired here.
Yeah.
Stop. He calls me out on the podcast all the time, and I just don't like it, even though I don't listen.
I saw her the other day, and I said, Julie, I have to confess something to you. And she goes, what's that? And I said, I'm so glad you got married. For the sole reason that I didn't know how to say your former last name.
Quinceañera.
Quentin.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my update.
That's
is
cool.
just being able to work in an environment where everybody believes the same things too. Like that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not having people like literally say the most inappropriate jokes or whatever, which happens all the time at my current job. And
it never happens on this podcast.
Never happens on this podcast. No, like even like what we do on this podcast is mild compared to what people say at my work. And I was like, I don't want to get them fired, so I won't say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody did say they wanted to murder my mother. So
that is not. I think it's a red flag.
It is.
I think that's what that's considered nowadays. If someone threatens to murder, if anyone threatens to murder, that's a red flag. Just throwing that out there in case you didn't know.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Just in case.
Yeah. But there was a local establishment that went up that you visited.
Yeah, there is. I went to Buc-ee's. If you don't know what Buc-ee's is,
Never
you're
heard of
missing out. It is a gas station.
And that's it. That's where we'll end that.
It's also a convenience store. I mean, if you have no context, you're like, wow.
If you're not from the South.
That is awesome. No, basically, this is like the most crazy convenience store you would ever go to. Picture it being like the Disney World for people who like gas.
How many gas pumps are there?
There's like 120.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. So I went like literally last night and probably 75% of the pumps were still taken.
That's
which
crazy.
I don't know if everybody's filling up with gas or some people are using it as like a parking spot because there are. I went yesterday like around 6 to 7 p.m. and there was probably 100 plus, 150 plus people inside the building itself.
Man.
And then there was tons of people filling up with gas and everything else. But it's just like this massive convenience store. They have like a whole like barbecue restaurant going crazy.
It's their own thing.
They have so many different food options where they're just making like really good barbecue. I know I've heard like their breakfast is crazy, so I need to try that out. Like they have really good breakfast burritos apparently.
Ooh.
And they have like a massive drink station and like
Mountain Dew.
They make tons of like desserts, like whether it's like like roasted almonds or whatever that is.
Oh yeah, they have a nut station. Or something like that.
They have lots of stuff, and they have like awesome like they have this like their logo is like this beaver. That's like this animated beaver.
I prefer to think of it as a squirrel.
Is it a squirrel?
I don't know.
I don't know now.
It is more beaver-like, but
is it beaver or a squirrel? I probably should know this, but I
like
don't.
squirrels.
I think it's a beaver.
I like squirrels.
Well, I think it's a beaver, and one of us is wrong, but I think it's a beaver, and
true.
it's like a really cool looking logo. So they have it on everything,
Yeah,
literally everything. But yeah, it's an experience to go. I know people traveled from literally hours away for like the grand opening, and people will travel for hours away just to go to this convenience store that is in our backyard.
Well, I'm going home to Jeff City after this.
Yeah.
And ironically,
You should stop by Buc-ee's.
I have to drive past Buc-ee's in order to go. So I'm like, I'll head up 44 and go into Buc-ee's.
Well, I know
gas.
The only issue is I know you said before you shouldn't really go in big groups of people.
What do
with
people
your
know?
White blood cells and such.
I got those.
That's about the riskiest place you could go to.
That's just not true. I could go to a concert.
Buc-ee's might be worse. I don't know.
They dirty like that.
Yeah.
Beavers are dirty.
If it was during 2020 time, I don't think any of the people in there would even know what a mask is.
What's a mask?
I don't know.
We burned our masks.
I think that most of their clientele probably would. But it is a very interesting establishment. It's pretty fun. It was an experience to go to, and it was just a good time, you know?
Did you wear your Buc-ee's beanie?
I did. Well, I went in the first time because I went in and got food and stuff, ate it, and then after that, we went back in to look through like the store part of it and see like all the different merchandise they have. And that's when I threw my Buc-ee's beanie on, you know? Got to have that BB.
So the size of Buc-ee's, what would you compare it to?
It's, I think, like 50,000 square feet.
That doesn't help me.
50,000 square feet, I would say it's like 7...
Is it like a Walmart size?
No. 50,000 square feet is like, I don't know, like your normal gas station, or let's say like the normal like trucker stop gas stations are a little bit bigger.
Okay.
I would say it's like 5 of those combined for like one big building. Like, maybe more. Maybe it's like 6 of those.
That's crazy.
It's massive because I would say most gas stations are probably like, I don't know, 500 square feet to 1,000. I don't really know.
I used to have 2 little boys that I mentored, and they insisted I would take them to like go do a fun activity and then like go out to dinner or something like that every Thursday. And then they always insisted that we go to Come and Go for dinner.
For dinner?
Yeah, for dinner.
Oh, okay.
And I said, like, boys, like, we don't have to do this. We can go anywhere you guys want. Well, within reason.
Come and Go, just for you who do not know, is another like regional gas station.
Yeah, with trash pizza there.
Yeah.
It tastes rubbery, and I'm just like, why?
You could have at least gone to Casey's. I feel like
I
feel like people like Casey's pizza.
Casey's pizza's decent.
Another gas station.
It's not the worst, and it's not the best.
Yeah.
But for gas station pizza, pretty decent.
Well, I'm pretty sure the One Bite guy, everybody knows the rules.
Oh, Dave Poirier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had like the breakfast pizza there because people
Yeah.
recommended it to him, and I think he gave it like a decent rating. He's like, it means gas station pizza.
I see him on TikTok
wasn't
all
bad.
the time for his pizza reviews.
Yeah, I don't care about most of the stuff he does, but I'm like, I like seeing meat pizza.
Yeah.
This is good.
I want to go to one of the places that he's given a high review to, or even an average review, because I feel like his thing's high.
I feel like most of them are like in New York, though,
Yeah.
or wherever else.
The closest I've seen him be
He's been
to
Emos.
us. He's been to Emos.
He's been to Emos. He gave it like a so-so thing because I think the cheese kind of was like,
I don't
know.
like. I hate Emos.
I like it. It's very divisive because they have the provolone or provolone cheese or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I really like thin crust pizza,
Me
and
too.
they make a very good thin crust itself. But then it's just, do you like the cheese or don't like the cheese?
I love thin crust because I'm not here to eat bread.
Yeah,
Because I'm not a bird.
well, I just like the texture thing. Like I like the
Yeah.
crunch. Like the same thing at like Domino's. I like in the thin crust, even though you get more bang for your buck if you get the hand tossed or whatever.
Bang for your Buc-ee's.
Bang for your Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Yes. Not a sponsor.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. But yeah, I don't know if he's been anywhere else, but I mean, like obviously, like I said, he's been to Casey's, but I don't think he was at a local one. He probably went to like Iowa or something.
I think the closest one he's been to is Chicago that I've seen.
Besides Emos in St. Louis.
Oh, whatever. I've never seen that one. But
I mean, he's been Emo. He might have been to more than one pizza place in St. Louis,
Probably.
potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously Chicago and
one by
then
everybody knows the rules.
any other major city. Yeah. But yeah, that was one of my updates. Went to Buc-ee's. Another thing is we're recording this before the new year, obviously, because this is releasing on New Year's Day, and we're not recording as you're listening.
We're recording live.
This is not a live podcast.
This is live. Right to your speakers
and
or your
because
ears.
Dane was like, hey, I'm going to go back, like you said earlier, to Jefferson City to see my family and everything else. We had to record kind of early. So this is this is the PC episode.
Samuel's just saying that because he's hungover after New Year's night or New Year's Eve.
No, we are recording this before Christmas, so sorry about the illusion here. So we'll talk about Christmas and New Year's and everything else on the next episode.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we are. Stop. But because of this, something else that happened this week is we had another white elephant gift exchange, this time with my K-Life like small group they help lead. And it's a little different than like the leader one because I talked about that and someone brought like a live mouse and like eggnog and everything else. And also had like 25 people. This one had like 6.
Yeah.
So again, white elephant gift, typically you bring in your gift. You can either choose a new gift or steal somebody's gift and you go from there. It can get kind of fun, exciting. This one though, everybody just opened a new gift and no one stole. And it's like, well, okay, I guess that's the end of it.
Because there's a $5 limit, right?
We did 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I ended up with like I think it's like potpourri or whatever it is, like the
Poopery.
Yeah, potpourri, that
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah.
that's what I ended up with, which is like right at $10.
That's
so,
all right. Yeah.
It doesn't taste very good.
Dang it. I was at the hospital yesterday.
Yeah.
Getting fluids.
Mhm.
I was okay, but I just need to get fluids so I can be hydrated.
Yeah. That's I think why most people get fluids
Exactly.
to get hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the gals at the front desk, they recognized me now, and she was like, "Yeah, we had a white elephant thing. And it had to be $5 and under." So she goes, "I just went to Five Below," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, obviously that makes sense." And she goes, "I got somebody like a light up, kind of fun, like trendy keyboard that was there." And she goes, "I even like it better than my keyboard that she had. She had some pink keyboard, I don't know."
Yeah.
And then
you said keyboard, and I was thinking like piano keyboard. I'm like,
No,
how is this
no.
$5? And why does she have another one?
No, on her
Now-
computer.
Now I get it. Okay, that makes sense.
But no, she was like, and what I got for my white elephant was a single packet of hot cocoa and a white mug that had no logo, no nothing on it. It was just a
I mean, that's
white mug.
about $5.
It is, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, well, yeah, congratulations.
$10 is definitely a better. You can get some
Yeah.
good stuff at $10, but also sometimes people just don't care and they're like, well, there's a $10 limit, so I'll get this trash thing that hopefully somebody else gets. I'm like, I hate it when that happens.
Well, my family white elephant, which already happened by the time you listen to this.
Yeah, but we're not making the illusion because we
Right.
told you this is before Christmas.
Exactly.
It's pre-Christmas. It's a PC
Pre-Christmas.
episode. Yep.
But my uncle always brings lottery tickets. So then...
Did he scratch them already?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
But no, he always brings lottery tickets, and the buy-in is $30. So he brings $30 worth of scratchers. And then most years, you just leave with nothing.
Yeah.
And
But
what I brought this year
yeah.
is really cool. Last year, I brought an air fryer. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always go above the budget because I don't want my gift to suck.
Did we talk about any of this on the last episode? I don't remember. But we can keep it short, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I brought an air fryer last year. This year, the year before, I brought a massage gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, I brought a smokeless fire pit, indoor fire pit. So it's not as big as you think. It's like can fit in both of your hands.
Yeah.
And it runs on rubbing alcohol.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like you try to light it and it doesn't light ever. So because it doesn't light, it's smokeless.
No.
There's no wick in the middle. So you think there's a wick and you try to set on fire. It just doesn't happen.
No.
Okay, sorry.
It's a smokeless rubbing alcohol fire pit. And think of like a candle that's gotten out of control.
Okay.
If you just put it on your table, it's kind of the size of that, and it's in a marble thing, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And I got that for White Elephant, and then I got a different colored one for my Secret Santa, which is my brother, Daniel Reed. Brother-in-law. Yeah.
Or your brother in Christ.
Both.
Both work.
Both are accurate.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what I did
one
for
is
White
permanent, the other one might not be.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I was just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, you take that back about my sister. It'll be because of their cats. I already know it.
It's like when we had Lindsay on here, and I don't know. It was like, hey, so is that your? I don't know. I said like, is that your future husband also, or
yeah, is that your forever husband?
Yeah. We made something. It's like, and then she was like, what are you guys talking about? And then she always sends this messages afterward.
What does Lindsay know?
Usually the message is like, why does Michael hate me? Why does he like?
I have a good thing to say about Lindsay.
We usually don't. We haven't talked about her in a while, so this is a good time.
She sucks, and she.
Happy New Year! Hey, this is very relevant to what your New Year's resolution is that we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah, it is 3 years in a row, baby.
Sorry, Lindsay. I did. Yeah, sorry about that.
But
this is good. This is our podcast.
Yeah, all that jazz. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
The only other thing with the K-Life small group White Elephant gift thing that we did, we also it's kind of funny because I'm like, this sounds familiar. Some of the guys are like, hey, we should do a draft. I'm like,
sure.
I do this like every week
living.
almost, but it's one of the drafts that we have not done yet. And honestly, we should have probably just drafted me and you, but we're not going to do that right now. But it was a McDonald's food draft, and there was 5 of us, and we ended up having 5 picks. We only had 15 seconds to choose each thing, so we went back and forth, etc. And then we ended up, I was going to put all 5 on my Instagram story for people to vote, like who's the best one. But apparently, you can do 4 for voting.
What's wrong with you, Instagram?
It's so annoying. It's very frustrating. So then I was like, well, someone needs a first round bye. And because I'm the leader, I took that first round bye, which it's now looking pretty good. But the first round, the team who ended up winning with their selection is they had chicken nuggets, Oreo McFlurry, a cheeseburger, a Grimace shake, which was a bold pick, and then soft serve ice cream. And then the one who almost beat them had a Big Mac, a spicy McChicken, a Sprite, 13-pack of cookies, and a double quarter pounder. So, like I said, the one with the nuggets won, and then they put it against me.
The McNuggies.
Yeah, so this is for the finals, and the voting's currently going right now, but at this point, the voting will be done, and I probably won. But that was all their selections, and then I went the breakfast route, so I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Ooh. I had hash browns, a sausage, egg, and cheese burrito, hot chocolate, which I kind of crumbled under pressure and went with that pick.
I like chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good. And then I had bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. So, honestly, I would eat all that right now. Like, all those 5 items, if you gave it to me right now, I would eat it.
Sounds good right
That'd
now.
be great, except it wouldn't be great for you for the ASMR of us chewing in the mic. We're not going to do that to you. But
unless you want that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. But currently, I'm going to pull up the results, what they are at this very second.
I bet you're losing by 50,000 votes.
I currently have 71% of the vote.
There it is.
So I think I should finish off this. I'm currently hasn't been in all
I voted.
In all I don't know, like all respect or all honesty, there hasn't been a ton of votes. There's only been 24 votes, but I have 17 to his 7, and it will go until about midnight tonight. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. And breakfast is definitely the solid picks. But also, they just didn't realize who they were going against. Like I do drafts all the time. I know what the people want, and I know what I want.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and I should get that done.
That's always the conflicting thing about drafts is do you take what you want or do you take what you think the masses would want?
Well, the thing is, what I want is usually what the masses should want.
No.
Yeah.
Because I don't want McDonald's, period.
Yeah, but again, also, you're the one who's always picking the controversial picks because
That's
you're
true.
like, hey, what's your best Christmas songs? Names 4 songs that aren't Christmas.
It's like what Jack Holmgren says is
Hey,
controversial.
that was a good pronunciation of his name.
Holmgren?
Shout out. Yeah, that was good.
Holmgren, that bum.
Homegrown.
No.
Big fan of the pod.
Yeah, big fan of the pod. He said a long time ago that my only personality trait is being controversial. And you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Something with that, though, is dramaticness.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I am the drama.
Yeah, you are.
Me and Taylor Swift are the same person.
Yeah. And because you're getting into the drama, I think we should talk about what grinds our gears.
I have a lot.
Well, you only have one thing written down, so I don't know how much you actually have.
What does it say?
Yours says a lawsuit of Santa. This sounds like a Christmas movie. Like
No,
what Christmas movie have you been watching lately?
It's something I've
Isn't
thought
it like
about
the
thoroughly.
Miracle on 34th Street? Don't they
No.
sue him?
I don't know.
I think they do. I haven't watched that movie.
In
a long time,
you
at
should
least.
know from the previous episode, I don't watch very many Christmas movies.
Obviously.
So instead, I've thought about
You're
this.
suing Santa?
I'm suing Santa.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, this is a call to arms. I want you, the fan, to join me in suing Santa Claus. This man's been breaking and entering for years.
What is his deal?
Did we ever sign a consent form? No, we didn't.
He brings us presents. It's okay.
Maybe I didn't want this present. Maybe it was a...
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Don't.
I won't say
Don't.
what I was going to say.
Don't.
Bomb.
He's a what?
Maybe it was a bomb he brought
Oh, I
us.
thought you were saying he's a bum.
He's a bum.
But he's not either because I'm on his nice list.
That's what you think.
You're on his naughty list.
I know that. That's why I'm mad. But also, why is he wearing a red hat? Is he a Republican or something?
I thought you were going to go a different route with that, but okay.
Or a communist?
Yeah,
There
that's
it
where I
is.
thought you were going.
He's either a dang Republican or he's a no good Soviet like Michael Fuller.
Or he's a bull matador, but he uses
Or a bull matador.
himself
Which
as the cape.
would be confusing.
Yes, he has
based
to jump
off
out of the
how
way.
Unathletic he seems.
But he has to have crazy endurance for going to all those homes.
That's true. In one night, yeah.
Yeah, he's magic.
Yeah. But also, breaking and entering is his first crime. And then also, he's
What is he breaking?
my heart and spirit.
Oh, okay.
Because he won't take what I really want to leave him for his midnight snack, which is cyanide.
You are horrible.
I'm
What is
kidding.
your deal?
I'm totally kidding. But no, how has nobody poisoned Santa Claus by now? That's my second point.
He's magic. Imagine
makes
how
no
much
sense.
milk he's drinking that's already bad.
There's
Like it's lukewarm
yeah.
milk. Like some people are bringing lactose intolerant milk, like in the Santa Claus movie, and
Yeah.
he's like, "What is this?" He's like, "You said you were lactose intolerant,
Yeah.
so it's soy milk."
There's no way that he hasn't drank bad milk or hasn't that's an unhealthy amount of milk to
I
drink
gotta
in a
use
night.
it. How much is he using the restroom?
Okay, yeah. When is he using the restroom?
Like that's a lot. I'm
That's a
sure it's
lot.
built into the sleigh or something.
Yeah. Also, he keeps hiring these bum reindeer.
They're just kind of there. I don't think he's hiring them. I think they kind of got the job by default.
Yeah, because Rudolph. The only thing I heard from the Rudolph story is that he couldn't perform under pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and then somehow in
Well, then they
the
needed
dark-
them in like a moment where like they weren't looking good, and he's kind of like the Jeremy Lin of the situation, kind
sure.
of like the guy who's like, "Hey, no,
Yeah.
you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything. You're too unique." And then he's like, "Hey, watch this.
for 30 seconds, and
Yeah.
then he sucks again.
Hey,
because
don't."
he was not built like Blitzen or Comet or Dancer or Prancer. Those are real athletes.
Or Cupid.
Cupid, great athlete.
Yeah.
But Rudolph, he has an electronic nose that you don't need most
It's
Christmases.
not electronic. It just glows.
You don't know that. Have you ever felt the nose?
Have you ever sang the song?
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what grinds my gears, is that nobody has sued Santa Claus. So I will be the one to start this lawsuit and join me, my brothers and sisters, in suing Santa Claus.
And the Dane did not get presents this year. I'm
If you
guessing
couldn't
now in
tell.
advance. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that grinds your gears.
Yeah.
Mine's a different route. Free climbers.
What does that even mean?
It's those people who climb without like any safety
Oh,
harnesses.
I know what you're talking about.
And I saw a video last night of this guy, and he like illegally climbs skyscrapers.
Love that. the illegally part.
And like he doesn't have anything on, so like literally if he falls, he will die.
Yeah.
There's a chance he could fall on someone else and they could die. And it's so stupid. And they're all just doing it for views and plays. And like this guy that I saw specifically, he had something where it was like he had like a good charity at least he was involved with, but at the same time, just don't
wear a harness.
Don't illegally climb massive skyscrapers where you could die and other people could die. And it's just so stupid. It's so dumb.
So one of Jake Trustin-Art's favorite, it's a documentary, I think. It's called Free Solo.
Yeah.
And
but at least with that though. Actually, you can go. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that it was just one of his favorite things. I remember him watching it all the time, whenever we lived together. And then I assume he still watches it now. And then if he's listening to this, just remember that I remembered that you like Free Solo.
Hey, see, Dane's a good friend and roommate, former roommate.
Yeah, you kicked me out with your selfish marriage thing.
Man, that was the worst.
That was the worst. But yeah, trying to get married too. Anyways.
Just had to slip that in. But yeah, free climbers, just kind of annoying. I don't get the deal. Like it's not as bad, I guess, if you do it like on the mountains and such, but still stupid.
You say that you're going to fall down a mountain.
It's still stupid, but at least there is not like illegal, I think, technically.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but yeah.
Just don't climb someone's building. Like that's so stupid. So yeah, we're going to get into the next part of this pod. This was a suggestion by Jack Holmgren, which you mentioned earlier.
Who's that?
You know who it is. He's a fan of the pod.
I hear he's unathletic.
He's probably punching the air right now. He was like, "Hey, you should talk about like some crazy dares. What's too far for a dare?" And I'm like, he gave me some suggestions that I kind of forgot because we talked about this a while ago. But I guess we'll just kind of jump into this a little bit. What we think. I think for one of my craziest dares, it's not something I've done, but something that would just be kind of too far, is sticking your tongue to a light pole.
Do it.
Yeah, but also this is like when it's freezing out, so it sticks.
Yeah.
And the main reason I'm bringing up this is because the greatest Christmas movie of all time,
Die Hard.
Christmas Story, they triple dog dare one of the kids to stick his tongue to a light pole, and it sticks, and they have to bring the fire department out and everything else, and it's crazy. So don't stick your tongue to a frozen light pole.
Very similarly, they brought the fire department out in Die Hard.
Oh, same movie. Same movie.
Because the terrorists had taken over Nakatomi Plaza. I want to start that tradition with my
Was
kids.
there a free climber going up that?
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Because Hans Gruber does fall off of the building at the end of the movie.
No spoilers. I haven't seen it.
Well, watch it. It's very Christmassy.
Yeah, well, it's not Christmas yet, so I still have a few days. We'll see. We'll see.
But yeah.
So,
it is a little bit too much, but
do you have any crazy dares?
I mean, I have 3.
Okay. Only 3. There's only 3 crazy dares out there for Dane.
Well, I was thinking about not even in reference to what is like a crazy dare, because anything can be crazy, really. But in reference to what I've done or have seen before or done before, the first one is streaking.
Yeah, don't do that.
There's a person by the name of what's his name? Matt Howard. Him and his wife are big TikTokers now. And what?
Yeah. The people who are from Missouri State.
Well, yeah,
Missouri State. Yeah.
Did you know I was in small group with Matt and Abby?
Well, I thought they might have gone to Hill City back in the day, but it was funny because I was listening to Trey Kennedy's podcast, and he had like these guests on there. It's like this husband and wife, and they're talking for a while, and they're like, "Yes, we went to Missouri State." I'm like, "Wait a second, I think I know who these people are." I never actually met them, but I remember hearing about them like when they started getting kind of famous.
You know, they were at Hill City this past Sunday.
Were they really?
Yeah. I talked to Matt for a little bit. I saw his new baby.
I was not there because I was sleepy.
Wow.
So I'm sorry.
I had cancer and I was there.
Oh gosh. Hey, I that was bad. That was bad on my part. But shut up. I mean, I wouldn't have talked to them. Or maybe I would have if you would have been over and I would have gone to you and like, "Oh, hey. Oh, you guys, I listened to you on Trey Kennedy's podcast."
Yeah.
I don't know you, but you probably knew me because I was an athlete at Missouri State.
But no, like how this comes up is...
Did you make a TikTok with them?
No, I didn't.
Dang.
I would if he wanted to, but...
Wait a second.
What?
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. They need to talk about our podcast on their stuff, and then we'll blow up.
Dang, I do have...
This is our end goal.
I think I have Matt's number, but...
Be like, hey, just casually mention us. Just one time.
Just one time.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Sorry.
So Matt, whenever he went to Hill City with us, we went to the Salt Company, which is the college ministry here. It wasn't Salt Company at the time; it was Hill City University.
Yeah.
And we went to our fall conference or whatever. And while we were there, guys stayed in one house, girls stayed in a different house, and Matt was very insistent on us going streaking. And I said,
of course it comes from the TikToker.
Yeah, well, he was 18, 19 at the time. I was 20-ish, so 21-ish at the time.
Okay, so you both can get arrested properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I said to him, Matt, I'm too old to be going streaking. I was like, I've never gone streaking, and I'm not going streaking now. We're at a church function.
I don't want to be put on a list.
Yeah, I don't want to be a sex offender.
Yeah, that's going to be the title of the podcast.
I don't want to be a sex offender.
That will not be the title.
But no, yeah.
Yeah.
But then him and a bunch of other dudes went streaking, and then they came back and they jumped in a river or a creek or something
and got washed away.
Yes,
it was very tragic.
It was very tragic. Matt made it out alive, though.
Yeah, obviously.
No, and they came back and they were like, "Oh, that was great," and I was like, "Well, I'm glad that was great. I'm still never gonna do that." And
yeah.
So I'm like, streaking, like, it's just not worth becoming a sex offender over.
Well, I didn't ever have to experience something to that extent, but I did go camping with some friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like after my freshman year of college, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And like we're all hanging out, and then it got to the point where we're like next to a lake, and then they decided to go skinny dip, and I'm like,
yeah,
I will sit over here at this table.
Why would you do that with other dudes?
And
I don't understand.
I'll let you do that, and I will just stay to the side. I hope you guys enjoy your time.
I don't think you should.
I'm good.
Yeah. I don't think you should ever do that.
I mean, you're going to a lake. Like, you don't know what's going to bite you. Like,
oh man, oh man,
it could get bad quick.
Audience, you can use your imagination.
It's like, don't do that. It's weird.
Yeah, I'll skip my second one because I can't say what it was on the air.
Oh, okay.
Basically, somebody
you're saying it anyway.
So okay, it's in reference to this third one.
Okay.
So
okay,
the third one is called Brotherhood of Seriousness.
Seriously?
It's a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Where you have to act very serious, and then
like
if
us every day on the podcast.
Exactly.
Not every day, but you know what I mean.
Every day, and if you laugh at all, you're out. Like that's how you lose, is by laughing. And you can do different variations of that. Of like, if you smirk, you're out. If you smile, you're
basically,
out.
if you have
any
sort of like expression or reaction to whatever is being said.
Yeah. And then basically some person starts, and then they'll say, we're now entering the Brotherhood of Seriousness,
yes.
AKA we're starting. And then the person who starts can just be like, hey, so-and-so, and you have to call them brother, actually, even if they're a girl. And Brother Samuel, will you please get up and go shake your butt at the window towards that other house? And you have to go do it without laughing, and everybody else in the room has to do it without laughing.
I feel like the other people would probably start laughing.
Exactly, that's the point. Is you start coming up with these ridiculous things to try and get other people to laugh.
So you're saying it's almost, I'm stupid. I was saying, so you're saying it's like a crazy dare. I'm like, that's the segment we're in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like that. And one person we dared, and this is the second one that I put on here.
Yeah.
He had to run down the street shirtless and touch this post, yelling a profane thing. And that's what I can't say on this.
Okay.
And
that's probably not good.
And it was funny. But I just didn't laugh. And I ended up, I don't remember if I won that one or not, or if I got second. But I had to dance with another dude in a provocative way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was really weird.
You do the YMCA.
Yeah, which it's always funny because like whenever you play like if you play guys and girls, usually girls will come up with something that's a little more tame, and then guys go straight for the jugular.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we got to get you out now.
Get on the roof and jump or something like that. So that it always goes a little like too far, or like somebody will be like, okay, time out. Like I actually can't do that. My career will be at jeopardy if you.
My career is at jeopardy. I don't want to go against everything I believe in.
Let's just say that person who had to yell that profane thing shirtless is now a police officer.
Of course.
So
he's like, actually, I don't even know what he's like. That's just crazy.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful way to roll into our New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, obviously. Our New Year's resolutions is to not do crazy dares. That's it.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, true. I think mine, I know with making New Year's resolutions is you can't just say, I want to do this general idea. You always got to give a number behind it. So that's what I did partially with what I was doing because I don't have I'm not a big New Year's resolutions guy because I don't do them usually.
I set attainable goals.
You do, which you'll get into.
Mine's to stop smoking every year.
You're doing it great. You're still holding strong.
Oh, no. I give that up for Lent every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I think one of mine is not exciting. It's just sleep more, but not just that.
Need that.
Try to average 7 hours of sleep a night would be great because I just have horrible sleeping habits and it's not great.
It's because you're a millennial.
That's why. Something else is to read 6 books.
That's two months a book.
I have not read a book in the past year and a half.
Books are lame.
Longer, but I keep on buying books, which is an issue.
Yeah. I'm an aspirational reader too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pre-ordering books and then getting them early and then not reading them at all.
Same.
I've done that a lot. And then it's bad. It's bad. But I know they have this app and it's called Goodreads, and it's basically you can follow people and see their reading progress and what they're reading, and you can set a goal how many books. I think last year I set my goal at 20.
Oof,
I don't know if I've read any part of any book this year.
Exactly.
So that's why I was let's just put 6. 6 is a somewhat obtainable goal, and then I can go from there.
Read them.
Yeah, we'll see if I actually do this, but that's a better goal than what I had. It's more attainable and realistic, which is part of a SMART goal.
Ooh.
And then I also need to convert Dane from a Cowboys fan to any other team.
I see you rearranged my name in the Google Doc that we have for our page. He put ENAD, which is my name in reverse.
Because I was he probably won't catch this. So I was yeah, it's a reminder to me and something that would just confuse you.
I thought you just misspelled end.
You're convert Enod. Who is this person? But it was
maybe that'll be my new fake name.
Yeah. Shout out. I need to convert him from a Cowboys fan, which he's wearing a Cowboys jacket
and
a hat.
That's Cowboys.
Yeah.
Shout out to that team. I love that team.
It's good. It's not good. They're good, but they're bad.
No.
So
we're fantastic.
They got destroyed recently.
No.
But we're not going to talk about that because now it's time for your New Year's resolutions day.
I'll go on too long if I talk about that.
Yeah.
So my New Year's resolution the past, I can't remember if this is the 3rd or the 4th year.
You would know if you listened to episode 1.
Probably. No, this would be my 3rd year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the 3rd year that this is my New Year's resolution. To be more toxic. I want to be more toxic.
You did a great job at that this year. Nice job.
That's what everybody says.
That's why you started a podcast.
They're like, oh, you're way, or they're always just like, hey, yeah, you've been pretty toxic this year. And I'm like, have I? And they go, no, not actually. And I'm like, then I failed you as a leader.
So this is, hey, you're putting it out there.
Yeah.
But you're not making it I don't know. You're not making it you're not putting a number behind it. So how are you going to be more toxic?
Well, I'm going to add 20 gaslights.
Okay.
That's awful, but I don't know what I'm going to do because being toxic is so wide-ranging and relative. So it's well, I don't know how to do that, but maybe I'll just be less edible.
Edible?
Yeah, somebody tries to eat me, and I'm actually toxic for them.
Oh, okay. Exactly. You actually did say edible.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay.
See?
Well, that's a good goal for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
goal
what's
number
your next
2,
one?
Beat cancer.
Hey, that's another good one.
That's a fantastic one.
Which you can't. How can you beat cancer if you've already beat it at this point?
Allegedly,
because you haven't been tested again, so you've already beat it.
You sound like my stepmom. She's like, I just know you're cancer free, and I was like, maybe. I
don't know.
I really hope so.
That would be great.
That'd be super cool. I'm like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 3, get a new job.
Which we already kind of talked about earlier. So
you did it.
Well, wait. Because you've already got the new job.
Right.
Are you getting a different new job? You're preemptively quitting the new one?
No, this is a 2-year commitment.
Okay. So you've already beat one of your New Year's resolutions. Yeah.
Well, it's so I won't.
How about start a new job? Because that would happen in the new year.
No.
Okay.
Because I could still not get it. If I don't get support raised fully, then I could still not get it.
That's valid.
Yeah. So it's there's still, or if I do something just wild, and
like start a podcast.
Yeah, like that or something. No, but start my new job, get fully fundraised, all the things that come with that, which would be super fun and cool. Number, what is this?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get a truck.
Hey.
Because I have, and I explained to Samuel this, I have my Chevy Equinox with all black. It's all black.
He's lying. He drives a Tesla.
I do drive a Tesla. No,
yeah,
I don't.
Brand new.
No. I drive a Chevy Equinox. I'm a man of the people. And
I don't know if you can say Chevy Equinox and say man in the same sentence.
yes, you can. It is a mom car.
I mean, I would drive it too. Like that's a solid car.
It's all right car. Yeah,
it's just not when you
cool.
think like manly car. Chevy Equinox.
2020 Chevy Equinox. Yeah. It's not manly.
It's not Ford truck month. It's Chevy Equinox month. Get your MPGs up.
Well, that's in reference to this. Get a truck.
Yeah, there you go.
So, because there's a Toyota Tacoma at the same place that I bought my Equinox at, and it's a 2015. It's about 15,000 miles more, but Tacomas last longer. So I'm just like, okay.
I mean, obviously, maybe. It has 15,000 more miles.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I signed. All right. Whenever I bought my current car, I signed up for gap coverage. So
like Kanye.
I don't know what that means.
Kanye West had a deal with Gap with his Yeezys.
I tried not to pay attention.
And then they didn't throw like all of his. He wanted all his stuff like thrown on the ground basically, so people had to like rummage through it. And then he said some. They're
anti-Semitic,
not good things, and then they're like, "Hey, we don't want to do this with you anymore."
Yeah.
So he no longer had gap coverage.
Dang
it! You can go now. I'm sorry.
So a gap coverage means at this particular place where I bought my car, I believe, which I paid extra money for this, is that I paid $24,000 for my car, or am paying over the loan. No, I don't have $24,000, but over the length of the loan, I will pay $24,000. And then, so what that gets me is that when I drive off the lot, I will still have a $24,000 worth of trade-in. Okay. So if I ever come back to that same place and want to get a new car, I would have $24,000 to trade in towards that, which is what I believe is right. I need to go down to them and be like, hey.
Like, guys, I got cancer.
Hey, this is like... I'm understanding you correctly whenever I signed up for this, right? And they're like, yeah. And so that was $24,000. The Tacoma is $27,000. So
that is $3,000 more.
Some would argue.
Okay.
And so I'm over here like, hey, can I just add $3,000 to my loan and then add $25 a month to just my payments? And so and then you just give me this, and then I leave you this. And so I'll probably do that next week.
Okay.
Or at least I'll go down and have the conversation next week.
Okay, so you're going to wait until next week to do that. Please rate us 5 stars, follow us on Spotify and Apple, leave us a comment on Apple, leave us voice memos, etc., 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 because we are going to the moon. And we want you to join us.
With my last New Year's resolution.
Which is?
Find a lady friend.
You said that's not what it says. It says get GF.
Yeah, that Glacier Frost.
Gatorade. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing.
No, find lady friend, marry lady friend.
Yes, which, again, our offer's still out there. If you want to go on a blind date with Dane, no one's picked us up yet.
No.
So.
Well, no, it's a raffle.
Oh, yeah, it's a raffle.
So it's a raffle.
Yeah, no one's bought a ticket yet either. That's actually part of your support raising. Yeah. Everybody who support raises for you, they also get an entry into this.
They're automatically into it.
No matter what, even if they want it or not, like, hey, you're now in. Like, dude.
Especially the dudes.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm a dude, don't. No.
Yeah, the married people, too.
Yeah, does everybody. They don't even know it. It's like, well, you won.
Yeah.
So you're going on a date with me.
Well, but then in reference to that, we even have New Year's resolutions for the podcast.
What? Yeah?
What?
Uh-huh. Well, I think our goal last year, I think one of them was just to do this weekly, which we did it. We made it attainable, and we made it and dropped an episode every single Monday, except for like that 1 or 2 Mondays where it didn't really work, and I had to drop it on Tuesday. But we still released weekly, and that's our goal again this next year. We are at 52. Currently, you're listening to 53. We're going to 104, and we're going to keep going and going and going and going and go. It's gone.
We're inevitable.
Yes.
And so
that
what are things we want to do within this year, though?
But we want to make episodes weekly.
Really?
And then besides that, we just want to make the podcast content just quality. We want to make it sound good for you, maybe make it sound better. We want you to leave us more reviews.
Ooh.
We want to get up to at least 100 5-star reviews. 100 million 5-star reviews on Spotify and Apple.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That'd be
But
fun.
if we can't hit 100 million, 100 on both would be cool.
100.
Yeah, 100 5-star reviews on each. That would be nice.
Yeah, reviews.
I know last year, back in my days where I was like, when we started the podcast, I was like, I'm going to talk about stats. And then I was like, this is a really boring segment. Why am I talking about this? And I was like, hey, we're going to average, I don't know, like 500 plus listeners a week, and that'll be so easy. It's not that easy. So we're just going to try to increase our numbers, and we'll see where that's at.
Yeah. Consistency, keep putting stuff out, and we keep coming up with innovative topics for the people.
Yeah.
Because we are men of the people.
Yeah. We'll do a little bit of everything. Maybe have some more guests.
Ooh,
we'll see.
A guest?
We'll have more guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Matt and Abby.
Ooh.
Not really, but we just need them to promote us. Hey, Matt and Abby, if you're listening, please promote us and let your millions of followers also follow us. You could be a sponsor for a week.
Let me see if I do have his number.
You should, and be like, hey, whatever, just one day, just be like, make a TikTok, like, listen to the Until Next Week podcast. This is so good. I
do. Look,
and we're going to read
Matt Howard from
Hill
City. Yeah, so if you want Matt Howard's phone number. Did I ever text him?
Oh.
No, I've never texted him.
You should, though, Cash, like, hey, I'm not doing this because you're famous, but
I
you talk about because I have cancer. Will you talk about because I did have cancer, because I don't anymore.
Right.
Will you promote our podcast on all your social media platforms?
That'd be wild.
Please. This would help us reach our goals a lot faster.
That'd be ridiculous.
Because the best way to reach your goals is to ride the coattails of someone else.
Exactly. Yeah. That is the goal.
Yeah, yeah.
But then we also want to make video this year.
Yeah, I said that at one point, that we would do that, and we still have not, because I still need to upgrade, I think, some other equipment to make it easier, and then at that point, we might start dropping some videos here and there. But I know with several big podcasts, one specifically is called like the Tim Hawkins podcast.
Don't know who that is.
He's a very big Christian comedian. He's if you're a Christian parent and like your 40s or older, you for sure know who Tim Hawkins is. And he has a podcast, which is very funny. And they only recently started video podcasting after dropping well over 100 episodes. It's
because he's old.
Well, he has a good team around him, but it took them a very long time. So we're still ahead of that pace.
That's fun.
So we'll try to do that at some point, post some videos, and then if it like really goes off at some point, then maybe we might get to the point where we can have video episodes.
TikTok.
But I don't have time to do that. So we would have to get a lot bigger so other people could do it for us.
That's the goal.
But I could probably figure out how to do short clips. But we'll see. That won't come for a while, but that's why it's a resolution for the new year, because we have 52 weeks to do it.
I want someone to sponsor us.
That too. And you know what? We may have a real sponsor that may or may not be showing up in the next few weeks. We are in talks with people.
We're in negotiations.
Yes. So we might actually have a legitimate sponsor soon.
Yeah.
Well, you'll know.
Jesus.
I mean, obviously we have Jesus and Jake Trust and Art and whoever else our third one is, which we'll say shortly. But we'll get to that. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just want to grow. We want to be consistent. We just want to have fun, have good conversations with one another. We are definitely much closer than what we were a year ago.
We're here to entertain you.
Yes.
So we're getting ready to read a, what's it called?
A 5-star review that they left us on Apple Podcast.
Yeah, a 5-star review that they left us on Apple Podcast.
Yeah, because we got another one of these, which is just awesome. And we're just so you know, just for time capsule's sake, we are at 24 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. And I looked, so we still have like 56% of people listen on Spotify, and then it's like 38% on Apple.
Let's go.
But I still want to get those numbers up, and we're trying to get at least, I think an attainable goal is at least 100 5-star reviews on both. So we still need 76 here. But this person not only left the 5-star review, but they left a comment.
I hear she's a wackadoodle.
We don't know who it is.
Oh.
Because the name of this person is J. Craw Smiley Face.
J. Craw Smiley Face.
Yeah.
She's a wackadoodle.
But maybe we'll get context from reading what the review says. And it says, innovative as heck. Fire emoji. If anyone steals my ice scraper or wiper blade idea because of this, I'll be heated. But 5 of 5 for the shout out. J Money.
J Money. See,
I'm starting to think this might have been Jasmine, who you mentioned before, who had a ice scraper wiper blade idea.
I saw her the other day, and she was talking about it. She goes, "Why'd you call my idea stupid?" And I said, "Well,
it's a podcast. We say what we want to say."
Yeah, first off, we can say what we want to say. But second off, wouldn't you have thought that somebody would have invented this by now if it was a feasible idea? And
then someone stole. We're actually working on stealing it right now.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen The Founder on, it was Netflix.
McDonald's, we talked about them earlier.
Where he stole McDonald's idea. We're doing the same.
Yeah,
so,
but better.
She goes,
we're going to be the McDonald's wiper blades.
Well, she said you just press a button in your car, and then it rotates it from your wiper blades to the scraper. And I said, oh, so you just want to change the entire automobile and how it's built.
She's being innovative, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's okay because she left us 5 stars, so it's obviously a great idea.
Yeah, sure. Or I can go buy a $5 ice scraper and keep scraping.
Yeah.
Actually, I still don't want to do that. But if we can make this, because you got to make it easy, accessible, and cheap. And so I don't know how we do that.
And quality.
Yeah, and quality.
Yeah. Well,
you don't need a braking.
Yeah.
But all that jazz.
Yeah.
Well,
all that jazz.
She does go by jazz sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But
well, that's cool. That was our Apple review of the week. Huh? Did you say no?
It is.
Oh, okay. We're going to get into our sponsors of the week now. Jesus is number 1.
Jesus Christ
was, and always will be our number 1 sponsor
is to come.
of the week, and that's because he's Jesus.
He's eternal.
Yes.
What's it called? Inevitable.
He is not Thanos.
When he rides in on his horse and his sword and his tattoo that says King of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
You don't tell me what to do.
Is that what he says to people?
That was in reference to Samuel. I know what I do. But our verse of the week is Romans 1, 28 through 32. And it says, and since they did not see fit to acknowledge God, God gave them up to a debased mind to do what they ought not be done. They were filled with all manner of unrighteousness, evil, covetousness, malice. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, maliciousness. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, haughty, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, foolish, faithless, heartless, ruthless. Though they know God's righteous decree that those who practice such things deserve to die, they not only do them, but give approval to them who practice them. And that's how it ends in Romans 1, which is crazy. And I heard a quote by Matt Chandler, and that's what inspired me to make this the verse of the week.
I thought it was Matt and Abby.
No, Matt Chandler. Dang it. He's got better things to say. But he said, it was a sermon or a clip that I was just watching of his. He said, sometimes, like, we're thinking about God's wrath. And we're thinking about, like, what's that like today? Like, because we don't see a whole lot of God burning down places and things like fire from the sky and the 10 plagues and things like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes God turns us over to our own ways and gives us what we want. And isn't that wrathful? Because when you see a parent of a child just giving the child whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, does that child ever turn out good? Or like in a positive manner? No, not necessarily. It's like, because whenever you think that everything is just going to be handed to you, given to you, and when you give the children ice cream for breakfast, it's not good long term for that child. And in the same way, God turning us over to our own ways, our own debased ways, like, isn't that the same as neglecting a child? And so it's like, man, that's part of God's wrath in like the modern post-Jesus kind of way. It's like, wow, that's really interesting. And I never thought of it that way. And I was like, this is higher level kind of thing. And he said, we turn our back on God and then blame him when we, as the people who aren't God, see our ways fail and go up in flames. And I'm like, yeah. So then when we're turned to our own ways and then when it doesn't work out for us, God, why did you do this? Why is that happening? It's like, man, we're so off base with just like, hey, God was saying don't go this way, closing the door, but he also allows us the ability to go that way because we're not robots. Yeah.
We
are children of God. And so it's like, man, people blame God for bad things happening. They blame him and they don't acknowledge him when good things happen in their lives, and things that we consider good are not always inherently good.
Yeah.
So
that's a good word.
That was my message for the week.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to teach the kids one day.
Do it.
Not in here.
Yeah. No. Number 2, sponsor of the week, Jake, Trust and Art. At the time you're listening to this, Christmas has already passed, but it's never too early to buy your Christmas gifts for next year. So hit up Jake Trust and Art and ask for him to do some artwork for you.
You sound like an infomercial.
Yeah, but wait, there's more.
There's more. If you apply now, you can also meet his wife.
Yes. Something else is I've mentioned before that you should buy his cards that were on like Leaf Trading Cards website, but I actually got a notification that you can't. I don't think you can buy them anymore, or maybe you can. But
sold out?
I think so because they don't ship them until they're sold out. Is what they said, and I got a shipping notification, so mine are coming in the mail,
shipped.
So I'm kind of pumped, and then I'm going to sign them and then sell them for millions of dollars.
I used to like mail.
Others like I used to like Jake.
That too. No.
But yeah, solid guy, solid dude.
Ooh.
He helped us get our start.
That's true.
And now we're here.
He let us use the electricity of his home. And
that you lived in.
That I also lived in. But no, it was cool. He created a space for us to do it.
Yeah.
And now Danielson is creating a space for us to do it.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah,
exactly.
Shout out.
So our third person is actually not our third person.
No, it's not the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's
because that is our third sponsor of the week, not the Los Angeles Dodgers, because I hate you. I don't actually hate.
Because I hate you.
But you are so frustrating. As a St. Louis Cardinals fan or just a baseball fan in general, the Dodgers are so frustrating because they spent $700 million on Shohei Ohtani. And then just recently, they signed this amazing Japanese pitcher stud for $325 million.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
I think that's actually a pretty good pronunciation.
I can't say his first name all the time. I can say Yamamoto.
Yeah.
But Yoshinobu, I think that's close.
That's probably pretty close.
I think it is or is close to his name.
But they've spent over $1 billion, or they've guaranteed over $1 billion to 2 players this offseason.
They went over that with Glass now.
And we're over here guaranteeing $99 million.
Woo!
Shout out St. Louis Cardinals.
We're the kid at the different table who's not having a fun birthday party.
Yeah, it's frustrating just as a Cardinals baseball fan because we want them to do so well, but then they don't. They do some things which are good, but then you see people like the Dodgers. And, like, you aren't supposed to, like, compare, but you are supposed to compare in this scenario because you're competing against one another. And if the other team's spending over $1 billion on arguably 2 of the best players in baseball, we hope. But maybe. It's kind of frustrating to watch. So we need to go after some other people. But I did hear.
What?
Because, so they signed Yamamoto and everything else, Dodgers. But, like, Jordan Montgomery. And like Blake Snell, those kind of guys, I think they were waiting to see what he got.
Yeah.
But now they're probably going to need more money
or whatever else. More dollars. Yeah.
But I think the Cardinals are still favored to sign Jordan Montgomery, and if they don't sign him, I think they still could legitimately get Blake Snell. So
it'll be us or the Rangers. I've heard.
I hope we go after one of them. Honestly, I would be completely fine with getting Montgomery back because again, wouldn't cost us a draft pick. He already has been in St. Louis. We know what to get. He's a solid guy, solid dude.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty humble guy.
Seems like he figured something out in Texas.
He won the World Series.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and he said, somebody else said this, but that he was teammates with Jordan Montgomery in New York. And he didn't like pitching in New York because their pitching coach made him throw his fastball more, even though it wasn't a plus fastball.
That's why when the Cardinals got him originally, they started using him differently, and he started pitching really well.
Yeah.
But he was still solid before. But I don't think I think he said he would go back to, or consider all those teams that he's played with. But I think he still probably dislikes the Yankees almost the most because they did trade him out of the blue. It's like, what in the world, guys? And then the Cardinals brought him in, which makes you feel loved. Yeah. But then they traded him, but he understood why they traded him because they had to sell. But then at the same time, they wanted to keep the door open to potentially bring him back so they could all compete better together.
Hard to be mad that you get traded to Texas and then won the World Series.
He's probably thankful.
It's pretty cool.
But I hope, though, he decides, hey, I want to go back to St. Louis and help him win that World Series that I couldn't help him in that 1 year that I helped him with.
Because Gray, Montgomery, Michaelis, I'm like...
we could compete.
I feel decent about that.
We could compete, and then we have some young guys who maybe could come out of the blue and do something.
Tin Kents.
So I hope we go after them, but we'll have to see. By the time this releases, it may have already happened.
Guess what I just read about Yamamoto?
What is it?
He has an opt-out after year 6.
That is an interesting move.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Because he'll be 31 after year 6. And
if he's doing really good, he could potentially get more money.
Yeah.
And sign somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great for him. It's good that's a player option because you don't see team options there because otherwise it's like, oh, we'll just drop you.
If it's a team option, they're usually not that good of a player.
Is that the last year of the contract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always last year of the contract and usually not that marquee of a player.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I heard the Cardinals are kicking the tires on Josh Hader. Don't want him.
It's a lot of money for a relief pitcher that is very solid, but you could spend that $20 million a year for something else.
I read he refuses to pitch back-to-back days, and he refuses to pitch more than 3 outs.
I hate those kind of. Well, I don't hate. I highly dislike the players who are like, I can't do that. Or like I know there was I think it was one of the Mariners pitchers. Maybe it might have been George Kirby.
Okay.
I don't know, but one of them was like, yeah, I don't know why they put me back out there. Like it's been like I've already pitched 6 innings. Why would I want to go out there for a 7th? It might not have been him. It was a pitcher who's
I
really
remember
good.
hearing something like that.
And I was like, what are you saying right now?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I was already done. I don't know why they put me back out there.
Aren't you a competitor?
Yeah, it's so annoying. And that's while I'm not a fan of everything the Cardinals have done, they did sign a lot of like gritty guys for starting rotation pitchers who are like, no, we'll just keep going. We'll keep pitching.
Yeah.
Give me ball. Give me ball. I throw ball.
Literally me.
But yeah, it should be interesting for baseball season that starts in 3 months.
How many minutes are we at in the podcast?
We're over an hour, so we're going to start closing up. This has been the first episode of the new year.
Wow.
Episode
Happy
53.
New Year. It's getting warmer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. It's getting brighter out now. We're getting daylight again.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, this has been episode 53. But just as a final reminder, keep telling your friends if you enjoy the podcast, keep telling them to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, because people are obviously listening who have not subscribed. I know that for a matter of fact. So you should subscribe. Hit that bell. I don't think there is a bell, but subscribe.
I don't know.
Leave us a 5-star review if you've not.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, if you're going, I don't know, if you see a friend who doesn't listen, just steal their phone and then subscribe. And
be a friend, tell a friend.
Leave reviews from your friends' phones and your phone, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
We're doing this together,
or
people.
Your mom's phone.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. So
dang it.
This is probably better than our first episode we dropped a year ago. We hope you think the same.
Yeah, and I hope you guys have a toxic 2024.
Yep. So until next week, this has been the Until Next Week podcast.
I love you.